If your FPS number looks fine, but the game still feels choppy, you're dealing with stutter, and stutter is usually a system issue, not a single graphics setting. The fix is a checklist that hits Windows, drivers, and the few settings that actually affect frame time. Let's do it in the order that works. First, confirm it's real stutter. Use an overlay that shows frame time or 1% lows, not just average FPS. Average FPS can look great while frame time spikes make the game feel like it's hitching. Test the same spot for a few minutes so you're not judging one random spike. Next, kill background junk that steals CPU time. Open Task Manager and look for anything spiking CPU disk or memory during gameplay. Browsers with heavy tabs, game launchers updating, RGB software polling sensors, cloud sync, and antivirus scans can all cause micro hitches. Close what you don't need and disable unnecessary startup apps so every boot isn't loaded with background noise. Now set same power behavior. In Windows 11, power mode matters. If you're in best efficiency or some OEM silent mode, your CPU and GPU can bounce clocks and cause inconsistent frame time. Switch to balance or best performance when gaming. And on laptops, confirm you're plugged in and not running a whisper profile that caps power. Then check temperatures and throttling. Stutters often happen when the CPU or GPU hits a thermal or power limit and downclocks hard. Watch clocks during a stutter. If clocks drop right when the hitch hits, you're throttling. Clean dust, fix airflow direction, tune fan curves, and consider a light GPU undervolt so it stops slamming its limits. Drivers next, but without drama. Update GPU drivers to a stable version, not random betas. If stutters began right after an update, rolling back one version can be a real fix. For chipset drivers, use the motherboard vendor or AMD and Intel official sources. Bad chipset or storage drivers can create latency spikes that feel like stutter. Now check the two common hardware traps, RAM and storage. Single-channel RAM can destroy 1% lows, and RAM running at default speed can make the whole game feel less smooth. Confirm you have two sticks for dual channel and enable XMP or DOCP, so memory ISNT crawling. For storage, if the game is on an HDD, move it to an SSD. Streaming textures from a hard drive creates hitches, especially in modern open-world games. Next, fix overlays and recording hooks. Multiple overlays fighting each other is a stutter factory. Pick one overlay, not three. If you record, don't run two capture tools at once. Disable background recording features you don't use. The goal is fewer hooks into the render pipeline. Now, the settings that actually matter. If you're CPU limited, lowering textures won't fix stutter. You need to reduce CPU-heavy settings like crowd density, view distance, physics, shadows in some titles, and simulation settings. If you're VRAM limited, then textures and resolution matter. Watch RAM usage. If you're hitting the limit, you'll get nasty spikes when the game swaps data. F-caps are the underrated fix. Uncapped FPS can cause wild power swings and inconsistent frame time. Cap slightly below your monitor refresh, like 141 for 144 Hz, or cap to a stable number your system can hold. Pair it with adaptive sync if available. Stability beats chasing the highest number. Shader stutter deserves a quick reality check. Some games stutter the first time you load into a new map because shaders compile. If stutter reduces after a few matches, it's probably shader catching. Don't keep deleting shader caches thinking you're cleaning. You're often resetting the problem. Here's the pro tip most people ignore. If you get stutters across every game plus audio crackles, it can be a driver or device latency problem. Unplug unnecessary USB devices, update audio and network drivers, and avoid stacking system optimizer tools and install low-level services. Sometimes one bad driver is the whole stutter story. Finally, test correctly. Change one thing at a time. Retest the same scene and watch the frame time graph. If you change 10 things at once, you won't know what actually fixed it. This checklist isn't about perfection. It's about reducing spikes until your games feel smooth and predictable. If you want your PC to feel consistent in 2025, run this order. Verify stutter, clean background load, set power, fix tong, get sane drivers. Confirm RAM and storage, kill overlay conflicts, cap FPS, and test one change at a time. If this helped you stop guessing and start fixing, follow and subscribe for more grounded PC troubleshooting.